Hello, I wanted to talk about another game, and this time it's Mini Metro. In Mini Metro we built the underground railway system of some very famous cities. There's London, Paris, New York, Chicago, Budapest, Berlin and many more. At the start of a game we have three shapes. We will try to connect these shapes with our first underground line. Now we can see there are customers at these shapes that are stations. There's a square, there is a circle and there is a triangle. Now at these stations and their customers, it's an easy game. You have to get these circles and take them to a circle. They will disembark at a circle automatically. Then you will get others that also need to be transported. There will be more stations appearing on the screen after a while. You're interested in connecting the stations so you have every shape on your line and can connect them to every other shape. This is pretty easy at the beginning because you only have these three shapes: triangle, square and circle. But there will be special shapes later on in the game that will make things difficult. Building your lines in a circular way is more efficient for the trains, so they don't have to get back and forth, but can go in a circle. Of course, there's a little catch on this map. There are rivers here, or water, that you have to get past with a bridge. But the amount of bridges you have are limited. After a week you can choose between two bonus things, and there might be a bridge among them, but you can't be too sure about that. You also get one more train that you can put on an existing line, or if you get another line, you can build another line. Here we have our first special shape, and at this point we have a minor problem. The shape is on this line and there are customers for the shape appearing on this line. They will want to transfer to the other line, so one of your stations will get more crowded with people changing the train. This can be a problem in the future, but at the moment we still have rather short lines that are not going to become a problem all that fast. Further the game progresses, the map is getting bigger. We are zooming out a little and getting more and more of the inner city. In this example it's New York, or better Manhattan and the surrounding parts. I don't really know what that is, because I've never been to New York. Now you can get extra trains on your lines if you think there will be too much traffic for the one train that is on that line to handle. You've also have to look out for the amount of passengers that are stuck on your lines. If some station is getting overcrowded, people will be very upset and start complaining. If they complain too long, the game ends. One of the more tricky things is not to have too many of the same shapes on one line. You don't want to have these circles in a line because you can only collect non-circles from these stations. That means you load off all your circles on the first circle in the line, and then your carriage has to collect all the triangles and squares, and there is limited capacity on that thing. You want to load and unload on every station, but if you have too many of the same shape in one line, you're only going to load but not unload anything. You can upgrade the capacity of your train by adding a carriage. As you can see, now the carriage is added and this train has more capacity. Also we can see there is a station that's overcrowded and needs to be handled fast. Luckily we have enough trains for that. An interchange would make a station bigger and make sure the people could get on and off the trains faster. This can be a very interesting thing for very crowded stations, but most of the time it's better to just get bigger trains so the workload can be handled. If you are running out of trains and you can see a station getting too many passengers and the current amount of trains can't handle the current workload, you could take one train and add it to the line. This of course is always a problem, because taking away the train from another line might solve one problem but will give you another one. As you can see, the purple line is already getting quite long and I have to think about rearranging it in the near future. The other thing is, the green line is now getting longer too, so that might become a problem. I hope I can solve the problems of the purple line with another carriage and the problems with the red line with another train. As the game progresses, you will notice this number here adding up. That means we have transported more passengers. Goal of the game is to transport as many passengers as possible on a map before one of those stations is not getting their passengers collected fast enough, and the little black circle that starts when this happens is getting full, which means you would have lost. Now I certainly have a problem down here, because now there are 4 circles in a row, which is something you want to avoid. This might be a little tricky, but you can try to rearrange the line. Now there's a triangle between those 2 circles and those 2 circles. That won't do all that much, but it's at least a little better. I now have the possibility to add another line. Adding another line can be very useful if one of your lines is getting too big, like the purple line. In that case, the best thing you can do is rearrange the whole thing. This is how the game works. It's a nice little puzzle game. It's very casual. It's a nice game if you just want to burn a few minutes.